When calculating percents, you will often use a calculator, since you will likely be multiplying with decimals. But what of the case where you don't have a calculator? This is where estimating percents is very useful. In this video, we'll look at examples of estimating percents that give reasonably accurate results. Let's look at an example. Of the 1,250 fish in a coral reef, 23% of them were clownfish. Approximately how many of the fish in the coral reef were clownfish? To calculate 23% of 1,250, multiply 0.23 by 1,250. But let's estimate the product. We round 23% to 20%, which is equal to 1/5. This 5-section rectangle represents 1,250. Each section represents 20%, or 1/5. So 1/5 of 1,250 is 250. So there are roughly 250 clownfish in the coral reef. Let's look at another example. Of the 668 runners who participated in the race, 79% had run in a previous race. About how many runners had previously run in a race before? To calculate the exact amount, multiply 0.79 by 668. But let's estimate the product instead. Round 79% to 80%, which is equivalent to 4/5. This 5-section rectangle represents the 668 runners. Each section is equal to 20%, or 1/5. So let's calculate 1/5 of 668 and multiply it by 4. We get 4 times 130, which is equal to 520. So roughly 520 of the runners had run in a previous race. Let's look at a final example. Of the 229 cyclists in the bikeathon, 34% had not been in a bikeathon before. How many cyclists had never been in a bikeathon before? To calculate the exact amount, multiply 0.34 times 229. But here's how to estimate it. Round 34% to 33 1/3, which is equal to 1/3. This 3-section rectangle represents the 229. Find 1/3 of 229, which is roughly equal to 76. So about 76 of the cyclists had never been in a bikeathon before.